The game never stops, and neither do we. Welcome to the SDH Network, around the corner from everywhere. This is your new edition of the Morning Espresso, brought to you by Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. It's Wednesday, October 22nd. We're pouring a full cup this morning. Leadership changes in Atlanta, MLS Playoffs getting underway, goals galore in the Champions League, and a huge semifinal clash in South America. I'm Jason Longshore. Let's get into it. We're going to start here in Atlanta. Big news last night out of Atlanta United. President and CEO Garth Lagerwey has stepped away once again to focus on his cancer treatment and recovery. Briefly returned in a part-time basis over the past few months. His indefinite leave now means that the club's day-to-day operations shift to a familiar trio: Chief Soccer Officer Chris Henderson, Senior Vice President of Strategy Dimitrios Efstathiou, and Chief Business Officer Sarah Kate Noftsinger. All three will report directly to AMBSE CEO Rich McKay, and they will be instrumental in steering the organization forward during what's a crucial transition period. The next task, you got to find a new head coach. You got to continue to strengthen the roster. All kinds of things off the field as you get ready for a World Cup coming to Atlanta in 2026. It's a very busy offseason ahead, one that will shape the next era for the Five Stripes. You can hear the full discussion with me, with Mike Conti, with Madison Cruz from Atlanta Soccer Tonight last night, just not too long after everything broke. That's on Off the Woodwork now, wherever you get your 92.9 The Game podcasts. Let's go to the MLS playoffs. They get started tonight with a pair of wild card matches. The stakes couldn't be any higher. Win and move on, lose and the season is done. We'll start the Eastern Conference. It begins in Chicago. The Fire hosting Orlando City. First playoff appearance for Chicago since 2017. It's been a huge turnaround under Gregg Berhalter. 68 goals, 9 wins away from home, a completely revitalized identity. Goalkeeper Chris Brady summed it up perfectly when he was talking about this game. He said, when asked about the last playoff game that the Fire had, he said, "I was in the stands in 2017. Now I get to help this club make history." Orlando City, they've been in the playoffs plenty over the years, 6 straight years under Oscar Pareja. They're led by Martin Ojeda and Marco Pasalic. It's a tough ask for them on the road, but Pareja's message has been very clear. Stay positive, stay brave, keep moving forward. It was a collapse late in the season that put Orlando into this game. Out west, Phil Neville's Portland Timbers, they try to steady the ship after a 4-0 thrashing by San Diego on decision day. Portland will host Real Salt Lake. They clawed into the playoffs thanks to a dramatic draw in St. Louis. Pablo Mastroeni said it best: "We're playing with house money, man." The winners tonight will move on to face the top seeds in the round of 1 best-of-3 series beginning on Sunday. I will also say that I feel a little bit better about all the complaints I made last year when Atlanta had to go from a Tuesday night in Montreal in the wild card round to a Friday best-of-3 opener in Fort Lauderdale. It felt very unfair. The winners now get an extra day, and that's how it should be in this situation. Yesterday, goals everywhere in the Champions League. Let's talk about it. 9 matches, 43 goals, nearly 5 per game. That's absurd, even by modern Champions League standards. At the Emirates, Arsenal put on a masterclass in the second half. 2 from Victor Gyökeres, 1 each from Gabriel and Gabriel Martinelli. A 4-0 win over Atletico Madrid. Mikel Arteta's team is perfect in Europe. They've only conceded 3 goals across all competitions this season. Elsewhere, PSG put 7 past Bayer Leverkusen. PSV smashed Napoli 6-2, and Manchester City rolled past Villarreal 2-0. Another goal from Erling Haaland, is 53rd in the Champions League, 9th straight match finding the back of the net. It's getting to the point where Erling Haaland's numbers look like video game kind of numbers. They don't look real. They're real. Tonight's slate brings even more fireworks. Real Madrid versus Juventus, Bayern Munich and Club Brugge, Chelsea and Ajax. Buckle up for another wild day across Europe. Let's go to South America, where the Copa Libertadores is always wild. Semifinals starting tonight. The game is in Rio. Flamengo hosting Racing Club at the Maracanã. First leg of what promises to be a very tasty semifinal. Flamengo come in riding a wave of momentum after edging Palmeiras in the Brasileiro, surviving a penalty shootout against Estudiantes in the quarterfinals of the Libertadores. Felipe Luis's side has nearly a full squad available, including the returning Leo Ortiz, while Everton Cebolinha remains out for Flamengo. Racing, they're managed by Gustavo Costas. They've quietly built one of the more consistent seasons in the tournament. They topped their group. They dispatched Peñarol and Vélez. They've got key players back from injury for the semifinal as well. The history between these two, it's pretty much even. 6 wins for Flamengo, 5 losses, 6 draws. Very, very even across their history in CONMEBOL competition. You're going to get intensity. You're going to get noise. You're going to get drama. It's South American football at its best. You can watch it on BN Sports tonight. And if you don't have BN Sports, you can get it through our friends at Fanatis. Go to fntz.co/soccer down here, and your subscription helps out the SDH network. Let's come back here, and we'll look ahead to next summer and the World Cup. Fox Sports with an announcement this morning. They are expanding their coverage of the World Cup. It's an unprecedented broadcast plan. It's massive. 69 matches will air live on Big Fox. All 104 matches shown across Fox FS1, streaming on the Fox Sports app and Fox One app. More than double the 2022 total on Broadcast Fox on your over-the-air channel. From June 11th through July 19th, the tournament across the U.S., Mexico, and Canada will feature more primetime matches than ever before. Part of over 340 hours of coverage, including pre- and post-match shows, features, analysis. CEO Eric Shanks called it the biggest production in our company's 32-year history. The final draw takes place on December 5th at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. That will be broadcast live on Broadcast Fox. And we'll learn then just how wild the summer coming up is going to be. Speaking of wild, La Liga and Miami, it's not happening now, and it's going to be a mess as we continue to try to get these situations happening where leagues and businesses and promoters want to play league matches in different countries, especially in the United States, chasing that money, and you get pushback. This one is not going to happen. The long-anticipated attempt to stage a league match in the U.S., in Miami, it was going to be Villarreal and Barcelona at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, canceled. They got legal clearance from FIFA, from U.S. Soccer, from the courts, but mounting protests in Spain, air quotes, logistical delays. There was a possibility that the University of Miami could have a college football playoff game in that window, and that could be a problem. Organizers have pulled the plug. Tickets were already on sale, but event partner Relevant Sports Group said there simply wasn't enough time to make it all work. La Liga president Javier Tebas was not happy about this. You could see him getting the news when he was attending the Villarreal Manchester City Champions League match yesterday. He went to the X app, which is always a bad idea when you're upset, and he called the decision, quote, a lost opportunity to advance Spanish football and project it globally. So La Liga is going to have to wait for its American debut, and we'll see if that happens at some point. Not 100% sure that it will now. Let's go to the women's game and some news out of the Bay Collective. They're becoming a new power player on the women's side of the sport. Headquartered in the San Francisco Bay Area, they're backed by 6th Street Partners. The organization is building a global women's football network, multi-club ownership. The anchor is Bay FC of the NWSL. They're expanding with a mission to connect women's teams across continents under a shared, sustainable model. Leading the charge are Kay Cossington, of the former FA technical director and now CEO, along with Anja van Ginhoven, who left the England setup to join Bay Collective, and Patricia Gonzalez, formerly of Atletico Madrid. Their goal, they want to build something that's independent, ambitious, fast-moving, and as Van Ginhoven put it, moving from a tanker to a speedboat. It could redefine how you look at multi-club ownership. It could redefine how women's clubs link together and partner and benefit an overall collective. It's going to be very interesting to watch how this builds out. Around the world, some other news. Seattle winger Pedro de la Vega faces 6 months out after knee surgery. Club de Foot Montreal, they make Marco Donadel their permanent head coach, removing the interim tag from him. And Anas Salah Eddin has officially switched from the Netherlands, who he represented at the youth national team level, to represent Morocco, and he could be part of their World Cup squad next summer. In USL League One, expansion side Portland Hearts of Pine, they drew 64-40 last night, a Tuesday night. It's a record crowd for the league. Not bad for a Tuesday night in Maine. That's your Morning Espresso, a full pour, stories, goals, global football, energy to get your day started. It's brought to you, as always, by Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. I'm Jason Longshore, and as always, thank you for starting your day with us here on the SDH Network.